Hello, everyone. This is episode 5 of the What's the Buttons podcast. My name is Reese, and with me I have Ash. Ash isn't doing so well today. He's been on the graveyard shift, so it'll be me carrying this podcast by the sounds of it. We've got a little list put together of some exciting shit that we're going to talk about, to be fair. It looks quite decent. Some drama, some new shit. So pay attention for the next hour, and we'll crack on.
Let's do this.
What's first on this is The Last of Us. Now, I not really in on this beef, but if you were listening to our previous episode, or was it the one before?
I think we talk about it quite regularly.
Yeah, one of the episodes we spoke about the remaster or the remake, whatever it's labelled as, of The Last of Us 1 coming to PS5, and I spoke how I think it's a cash grab and it's just a fucking it's nothing special, and we had a discussion about it. Well, Ash has some news that's going to be new to me. I've seen one clip this morning sort of touching on the subject, but I'm a bit blind to it, so let me know.
Take it away, Ash.
Yeah, take it away.
So, hello everybody. I'm a bit tired. Go easy on me. I've got a bit of a bellyache as well, and I'm hungry.
I offered him food.
Yeah,
He said no.
I didn't want pasta, bro. So yeah, yesterday I saw a lot of tweets about the state of Last of Us remake and how much it's a cash grab. And I thought, I remember someone else saying it's a cash grab.
What a surprise. I called it.
You did. Well, we'll see, won't we? So I thought, well, we'll look into it a little bit more. Funnily enough, Naughty Dog then released the 10-minute clip yesterday of The Last of Us, showing gameplay, diving deep into, you know, the motherboard, how it all works, showing you, you know, the green screens where people are looking and letters above the AI's head showing you what they're thinking, and it's just all technical jargon that I don't understand. But nonetheless, it looks very pretty. However, it's the same fucking game that you're charging 70 fucking quid for. I mean, come on. Why? Listen, I'm a Last of Us fan. I'm not a Last of Us fan on the levels of this man.
Yep.
I really enjoyed it, but for me, they're like one and done games. Maybe a 2 if you're feeling fruity. Maybe go through on a hard mode, but they're not like replayable games for me. I don't know, a lot of people do, but not for me. So, as Lengdog rightly said last time, he's already bought it twice. Bought it for the PS3.
Yep.
Then it was remade for the PS4, or remastered.
Yep.
And now a remake for the PS5, which, don't get me wrong, looks beautiful. I mean, it does look up to the standards of The Last of Us 2, so they have worked magic. But is it necessary? And is it worth £70? I don't think so. However, if they were to make it so if you have The Last of Us, or you played it before a certain date, so you don't just go out, buy Last of Us on the PS4 and then go, oh, I can upgrade for cheap. And they did an upgrade path, I think that would be fine. But charging 70 quid regardless of whether you've owned The Last of Us before or not, it's the same game. Who they targeting? Because everyone and their mother's played that by now.
Don't charge me 70 quid for a fucking game that's already come out twice before. You know what I mean?
Skyrim.
I love The Last of Us, and I'm not comfortable paying 70. I won't do it. It just won't happen.
Did you not say that Last of Us 2 is your favourite game of all time?
It is, but I'm not paying another 70 quid for it. You know what I mean?
So surely that speaks volumes in itself. If that's your favourite game of all time, your favourite franchise, so to speak.
Yep.
Then, and you're not willing to pay £70, and don't get me wrong, this geezer throws money for fun. You know, he sees a nice toy. I don't care how much it is. You heard about the Ragnarok saga. So
I had no Funkos almost 2 months ago, and now I've got over 600 quid's worth of Funkos.
Yeah, he's got more than me. I've been collecting them for about 10 years. So yeah, if they're not selling it to you, like an avid fan who's got merch, backpacks, all the sorts of nonsense, you got tattoos?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah, you got Firefly. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? If they're not selling it to you, who are they selling it to?
Exactly. it's not something that I was hyped of. When we had The Last of Us 2 and that story was that was it done. After all the drama, all that bullshit, everyone knows my stance on that one, so I won't get into it. But after Last of Us 2, I thought that was it. That's now finished. Leave it alone. Focus on something else. Naughty Dog are an amazing studio. They have the talent behind them to pump out this incredible stuff. So I thought, work on something else. It'll be great. No. Instead, they bring back The Last of Us 1 on a PS5. Yes, the graphics look great. Yes, they've claimed to change certain things and the multiplayer and things like that, but it was a single player campaign, very story driven game, and there's only so much you can do with that without bringing out things like DLC for it. So then just remaking it and adding in a couple of new bits, it's difficult for me to talk completely on it because, like I said, I've only seen one clip, and that one clip was Joel beating the shit out of someone with a baseball bat, and the animation looked the same. There was nothing new about it. It just looked better, which in today's day and age, you need something a little bit more than just graphics to make someone throw another 70 bones.
And that's coming from a graphics whore. You're a graphics whore, aren't you?
Yeah, massively.
Self-proclaimed graphics whore.
Massively. I love graphics, but I am not going to throw another 70 quid at something where I have already played the story at least twice. Through and through. You know what I mean?
Rightly so. I'll side with you on that one. But I genuinely thought they were making it from the ground up, which I didn't think it needed anyway, but there you are. Also, they did throw... Well, that's an interesting noise.
That's going to be a good noise.
They did throw out that they've done... we've added T-shirts. Oh, God.
What's this?
I don't know. Sounds like a drill to me.
Does sound like a drill.
We might be back in a minute, depending on how much longer that carries on. They have added, like, cosmetics. They've added clothes for whoever wants clothes. They've added little statues you can rotate to have a look at, the detail, which is great. But, once again, 70 quid. And I know you're not a fan of it, but me and my pal, Clarky, Last of Us Factions, we loved it. We played that for untold amount of hours. Fantastic. We loved it anyway. I know you didn't. That's not coming with it either. So there's no multiplayer component.
Is it not?
No. So there's no multiplayer component to it. So they've removed a feature.
So what was this multiplayer component that they were talking about, saying that they were redoing and everyone was excited for?
It's a complete separate entity. They're talking like that's on the scale of the Last of Us franchise in its entirety. And it does sound exciting. The details are sparse, but if it's anything to go by how much Factions was good and what they must have built upon since then, it'll be exciting. But yeah, no Factions in. If they had Factions reworked, like even if it was just the same, but with the graphical overhaul, that might have been enough to pull me and Clarky in. But taking that away, it's even less of a package. So you've replaced the multiplayer with better graphics and some T-shirts and some statues that I can rotate. Not really for me.
Some statues for 70 quid.
Yeah, and it's such a huge game that, as I said previously, everyone and their mother's played it at this point. So yeah. I know they got the series coming out, and it'd be a good jumping off point for many people. But I feel at this point, if you haven't played The Last of Us, then you probably won't play The Last of Us.
I think that the Last of Us, there's been so many games that are the post-apocalyptic setting, and it's you know what I mean? It's fucking... So much shit has been done with that. I think The Last of Us and the storyline behind it and everything involved with The Last of Us sits near the top, if not at the top, in terms of games that go with the post-apocalyptic world. And I think they have to be very careful to not try and milk it too much. They've got a good thing. They had a good thing. It will go down in history books as being an incredible set of games. Leave it alone. Like you say, you've got the series coming out, so there's going to be money pumping in from that anyway. Just leave the games alone. Let them... Don't turn it into something where you're trying to milk as much out of it as possible, because a studio like Naughty Dog, they don't need to fucking milk the game for every single penny it's got, because they've got money behind them. So just, you know what I mean, move that talent onto something else rather than just fucking killing it. Like you say, most people have played it, and if you haven't played it already, chances are you're going to be drawn to something else anyway. They're both of the games are long stories. So first you have to find the time to do it. I think both together, it's like 60, 70 hours worth of fucking campaign. There's a lot of time to designate on a game that's coming out for the third time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if someone watches the new Last of Us series and they're like, do you know what? I've got a PS4 sitting about. I want to check out these games. You're telling me that The Last of Us remastered on the PS4 is not good enough to stand up and be counted, because that's a good enough game to go. Yeah, no, this runs fine. It's the gunplay's a bit clunky, but The Last of Us 2 gunplay's not exactly
No, but
perfect,
not,
is it?
it's not about the fucking
Exactly, it's
gunplay.
supposed to be clunky anyway because they're people just trying to survive. It's part of the charm. So to go into the remastered version, that would have been fine. To then jump into Last of Us 2 and be like, wow, it's 10 years old. Is it necessary? You're getting into dangerous territory when a 10-year-old game is getting remade. They could have used them resources and done a Last of Us spin-off with one of the other characters.
Do something. Yeah, they're not putting out the content to warrant trying to get so much out of it. They had that one DLC on The Last of Us 1.
Left Behind.
Yeah, that was quite good. But again, that was like an hour. You know what I mean? It wasn't long. It was a nice little story. But yeah, just leave the fucking thing. I don't think it will be a good reception, if I'm honest. People will buy it because of the hype surrounding it, but I
if you ain't charging 70 bones for that, I think the reception's good. Charging full price for that when it's just a lick of paint is probably an understatement because it looks beautiful. But you've removed the multiplayer aspect, which a lot of people are a fan of. And you've put some T-shirts and some collectibles in there. Oh, and they've got permadeath mode. I mean, you have to be a maniac to do that. Yeah, you can do your own permadeath mode. Just go, when I die, I'll start.
Turn it off.
Yeah, you don't need that implemented. They've also put a speedrunning mode in. So all that is, what they showed was a little timer in the top right of the screen.
Which you can do with your phone.
Yeah,
I mean? Me and Ash aren't games developers, in case you weren't aware. You throw us in a room and tell us to make a game, chances are we can't do it. So I won't sit here and pretend like I know how to make a fucking game. But I just don't think that this has been the best use of time. It's playing on the nostalgia aspect. Like Ash said, it's 10 years old. Just leave it alone, for fuck's sake. I agree though, if it was say £35.
Yeah, I think £40 is a good
something
price.
like that. Let's say you got it cheaper if you already own the game. Most people have got the game. It's fucking free on PlayStation Plus. So you have access to the game itself. And then 35, 40 quid, you can have this updated version to PS5 with these new features in, rather than saying, right, you can have all of this for 70 quid. It's not a brand new game. You've sort of redone shit on a game that's existed for a decade.
And arguably removed features and placed in, things that people were not crying out for. I don't think people are crying out for different T-shirts and collectible statues. That's what they said in the video, that we've added some highly requested community features.
Who's requested this? What community? What Last of Us community is there that's still thriving? What are they thriving on?
Exactly.
A single player campaign? What are we thriving on there? I love it to pieces, but I'm not sitting here fucking thriving with it every single day. You know
exactly. I think this isn't. We're not here to just shit all over Naughty Dog, because they're probably one of the leading producers. They're fantastic. The work they put out is 11 out of 10 more or less. Yeah. So that's not the goal here. The goal is to try and understand the thinking and the reasoning behind it, because I can't understand what their game plan was. I can't imagine a board meeting where Neil Druckmann's gone, right, Last of Us remake ground up. They've gone, hey?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Let's do that.
It probably feels to them that they've just finished working on it. Yeah. So why would they? Who's gone? Yeah, great idea. They've obviously gone into a bit more than that. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, we're doing a Last of Us series, so if we can coincide this, and there might be some numbers crunching, and they're making things make sense. But the general consensus yesterday on social media wasn't good. I reserved judgment. I stuck up for it last time. I think we spoke about it when we was arguing about whether remakes are worth it. And after seeing that 10-minute video, which you should have watched before we did this actually, but there you are.
Should have done
it. It leaves a bit to be desired. I hope Last of Us fans will enjoy it. I hope they see sense and knock the price down a bit. But I know people will buy it regardless. But whether they're going to hit the figures they're hoping to hit, that's left up for a debate.
Agreed, and we'll leave it there. Otherwise, we'll keep fucking whinging about it.
Yeah, well,
People will hate us.
there you go. While I still got you, we're just going to quickly plug the socials. Mainly just for feedback. Once again, we'd like to hear people's opinions, and also it helps grow the podcast. So the Instagram is at What's the Buttons Podcast, and Twitter is at What's the Button, with no S on the end, because as I said before, some knobheads got that and they don't post nothing. So there you are.
There's no apostrophe in what's either. I know that it's not the correct terminology and blah blah blah. It used to have an apostrophe. It's just easier just to take the fucking thing out because it's easier to type in. It's laziness really, but everything doesn't have an apostrophe in, I believe.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. So don't be putting an apostrophe. I only say that because there's some things where I've searched it up and putting the apostrophe in, it hasn't shown up. So yeah, leave it out. And that's the socials. And in our Instagram is the link to our link tree, which has got all the Google podcasts, the Apple, anything to do with What's the Buttons is on there.
Even the Twitter.
Yeah, except for the website because that's still in hibernation mode at the moment.
Yeah, well, once this grows to...
I'm not paying 180 quid just to have the website. I'll keep the domain. Give us some money and I'll get the website up.
And GoPros, yeah.
Yeah. Right. No Man's Sky.
Yes.
No Man's Sky.
Talk to me.
I've been waiting an entire 12 hours to talk about this.
Is that it? I thought this had been building up over the week.
It was. I didn't... So there's been a massive update. I downloaded I've played No Man's Sky before. Didn't really enjoy it. Ash said they've done all this sick shit, so stop being an idiot and download it. Normally when he tells me to download a game and play it, 9 times out of 10 it's in my favour. So I've downloaded it again, played it again, actually enjoyed it. However, it was asking me to get hold of some stuff to build a base, and it was taking a while, and I didn't lose interest, but I thought I'm just sitting here fucking walking around basically a desert trying to find shit that I cannot find, and my base looks wank. So I stopped it for the minute, and then I went onto Instagram yesterday and see that they've done an update for freights and shit that I don't know about. And I messaged Ash about it, and he's like, I've been fucking playing this all day. And I said, save it. We don't want to talk about it. Save it. And here we are. So he's going to enlighten me.
Right, so No Man's Sky, obviously being the big space buff that I am, when that got announced, I was pretty excited. It came out, it was shit. Really, really bad. And I was streaming at that time, and I was doing quite well streaming. So that came out, and it was just like, oh, this is shit, isn't it? Chat. And they're like, yeah.
This is shit.
And they're like, yes, it is. Yes, it is shit, sir. Go back to Dark Souls,
What
please.
a brilliant stream that would have been. Yeah. This is wank.
But no, I was really trying. I'll probably give it a lot more chance than most people did. I was like, I want to like it, but I don't understand. What is this? It's a mess. It's rubbish. There's nothing to do. I'm landing on a planet. It's just barren. There's nothing there. There's nothing going on. There's no story. You know, and I remember as well, Sean Murray of Hello Games, the creators, he was asked in an interview before the game came out, you know, what's the end? You know, it's a procedurally generated universe, something that the human mind can't comprehend. What happens at the end? And he's like, you are not ready. You are not ready for the end. It is gonna blow your socks off. Honestly, you've never seen anything like it. He went in hard on the ending. Now, I never finished it because it was shit. Really boring. But I know what the ending was, and it's not the ending anymore, so it won't be a spoiler when I say. Basically, the whole goal originally of No Man's Sky was to get to the centre of the universe, which, you know, you go into a system. The loop was you go into a system, you get enough shit to get enough fuel for your hyperdrive to walk to the next system over and over and over again. There was nothing else to do. There was no base building. It was literally that. So the people that actually did grind and put the time in to get to the end, you reach the centre of the universe, and you know what happens?
Go on.
You're welcome. spits you out back in the middle of nowhere. That's it. That's the end. Just spits you out
What do
into
you
another
mean?
solar. There's nothing.
What do you mean it spits
It
you
just
out?
spits you out into another solar system, and you just carry on. It's just nothing. It's just shit. That was the big ending that he had planned. He also said that there would be multiplayer, and but you would never see anyone else because the chances of seeing anyone else would be pretty
Oh, that's
much
great.
impossible.
This is a multiplayer game, and you're never going to play with
Well,
anyone.
it wasn't. To be fair, it was never advertised as a multiplayer game, but it had multiplayer aspects. So when he was asked, will you see anyone else? And who do you play as? Are you a human? Are you an alien? What are you? And he was like, well, that's part of the mystery. So when he said that no one would ever see each other because it's, an incomprehensible world, universe to the human mind, you could literally spend your whole time on one planet and you wouldn't see all of it because it's that big. It's a whole planet, just walking around. But obviously, you're testing gamers and you don't do that. So, of course, two people bumped into each other and they put it on Twitch. And, they were both in exactly the same place. And it was either they weren't there or there was like a little light. They were just a little light and there was no interactivity. He was saying you could see each other.
You couldn't actually do anything.
Yeah, no, there was nothing.
Fucking stupid.
But fast forward, 5-6 years later, and that is a different beast entirely. Probably how many, 15 updates, something like that. All free, not one microtransaction in the whole game. Expeditions, all the stuff they've added, as I say, absolutely free and all top quality.
It's free to play now as well, isn't it? I don't think you actually have to purchase it. I think it is.
The confusing thing to me is, and what I've never understood, who's funding this?
I reckon it's them for saying fucking sorry. It's almost like they're doing the exact opposite to what Cyberpunk did. Bring out this game that's shit and fucked up, and then actually put the effort in to try and fix it. And yeah, they've done some incredible updates. And I was reading a little Reddit thread yesterday saying how much people respect the creators of No Man's Sky for the devotion that they've put into that game to try and bring it up from the dead and make it into something that's actually worth playing. And I think they have succeeded.
Yeah, but who's funding it? That's 6 years of no money. Who's funding this? There's no microtransactions.
They might be doing it for fun. I don't know. What else do they make?
They've got bills to pay. Nothing. That's their only game. No Man's Sky. There's no microtransactions. They sold probably a bucket load of games. But that's not sustainable for 6 years.
But it is the perfect money laundering type thing.
What do you mean?
You need to launder a load of money, make a free game, pile all the money into that.
But it wasn't free. And if it's free now,
it weren't
even
free.
more so, where's the money coming from?
Maybe that's what it is then. It was so highly anticipated. That was the business model. Let me hype up this game to its absolute max and say it's the most incredible game you'll ever play. Everyone's going to buy it. It's then going to be shit. Your player base is going to drop to 5% of what it was when people bought it. And then with the money that you've made, then make it good again.
There's no business model in the world that says let's make a really shit game.
Now, it sounds mental, but it's working. Innit?
Yeah, but they're not making money.
Well, they must be, otherwise they wouldn't be fucking
pumping it out. This is
pumping
what I want to know. Who's the shadow broker? Who's paying these fools?
I don't know. I don't even know how many people are on this.
Well, I love it. I've always loved it. It's one of them games. Whenever there's an update, I go back to it and I'm like, wow, why do I stop playing this? And I always stop playing it because something new comes out. But funnily enough, I've got Twitch on at the moment because they've got Twitch drops activated. So I'm getting my free ship. So I'm going to scrap, get all my credits.
Nice.
But yeah, it's the gameplay loop now it's overwhelming, if anything, because there's so much going on. I go to do one thing, so I'm like, I want to build this. And I'll go and get the materials for it. And they'll be like, oh, you need this material for that bit. And I'll be like, oh, what was I building in the first place? And I'll completely forget. And then I'll just go off and do something else.
How long does it... Because I didn't play that long. Probably like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. When do I get to the point where I'm fucking around in space rather than cutting down cactus?
Well, did you repair your ship?
Yeah, I've repaired my ship.
All right.
I've built my little base thing. And I think now I've got to get more fuel for the warp drive again.
Right, yeah, so the first thing I want you to do is repair the ship and then warp out of the system, I guess. Have you summoned the space anomaly? Yeah.
No, I ain't.
Right. So
Nah.
I don't know what point it'd be early on. You can summon space anonym. Fuck's sake.
A space thing.
Yeah, space. The Death Star. You can summon the Death Star.
Anomaly? Aha!
Yeah.
Anomaly.
So you literally just press down on the D-pad, up on the D-pad or something, and then bang, poof, Death Star comes in. And you drive in or fly in the Death Star, bang, and it takes you into a multiplayer hub. There's loads of other players running around, giving you items and doing quests.
All sorts of shit.
You can jump in quests with other people. You can change your appearance. You can put little eggs in an incubator and make your own companions that you can ride. And there's so much to it. The depth on it is nuts. So yeah, that's when the game will start opening up more. But like I say, I can just jump in with you and just drop you loads of shit and show you around. And
Well, I'm playing it on this.
yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
Is it
crossplay.
fully cross?
It's crossplay, yeah.
Oh, and you know what that means? What, we all playing it on your PlayStation, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to intertwine the Xbox Discord.
Well, that ain't out yet, though,
shit.
is it?
Yeah, but it will be soon.
Why don't you just play on PlayStation? You not got it on PlayStation?
I've got it on PlayStation. I think I've even got it downloaded on PlayStation. But I will have to do a test.
Well, you want the PS5 version though? Have you got the PS4 version downloaded?
Yeah. No, I think I've got the PS5 version downloaded.
Well, just jump on PlayStation then. I'll start off with you. I'll get you out that starting quick sharp.
I may do. I think I might because I want to.
Well, I can take you to my freighter and show you what I've built. I'll take you to.
You're grooming me.
Well, no, I'll take you to the Darkwing, and I'll take you for a walk.
The Darkwing.
Yeah, that's what I called it.
The Darkwing.
Yeah, I didn't give it a really cool name because I don't really like it. So when I can afford a proper freighter, then it will be called like.
What do you do with these freighters?
What's
the point? What's the point?
Well, everything. It's just to make the game easier.
Yeah, but what are we doing? Is this a sandbox or is there actual narrative?
Yeah, there's a whole story you can follow. There's a whole story you can do.
Have you done it?
No, I'm working through it. So there's loads of different things you can do. The freighter, I store all my stuff on it. I'm building new rooms on there. So now I've got a room that extracts minerals from the system that I'm in. So I'm constantly
getting shit.
I'm constantly getting minerals and things like that to use to build. I've built an exocraft station. So normally when you go down onto a planet, if you want to ride a vehicle or get in a big mech or whatever it is you want to do, you have to put down a geobay. So you have to build a geobay and then you can summon your vehicle. I've built something that can make me summon my vehicle on any planet as long as my freighter is above that planet or in that system. So I've got a room on the freighter that allows that. What I'm currently trying to do is build a long-range transporter. So if I need, because I store all my materials on the freighter, so I'm not filled up. So if I want to build something, I'm like, bollocks, it's in the freighter. So I fly up, get to my freighter, come back down. But I'm building something, or I'm getting the materials to build the item or the room that allows me to just teleport whatever gear I need straight to me. So there's all things to just make the game more fun.
This sounds decent. I like
it is
this.
fun. There's always something to be doing. Contraband. You can go and find crash freighters. You can recruit other pilots to fight when pirates come.
There's pirates.
Yeah, there's pirates come out and attack you.
Oh.
There's you can get. So now in one of the most recent updates, Outlaws, I think it was, they added like contraband. So if you've got contraband and you get scanned by the authorities and they find it, then you're getting into a fight. But there's like a deflector thing, so you can deflect their contraband scanners and stuff. You can build that. But all these things are locked behind doing other things, which to do that
All
need to
sorts
do
of
other
things.
things. So and there's no, like I say, there's no monetization there, and they're very generous. So they also do a thing called expeditions, right? So I don't know how many there's been, 6, 7. Every like couple of months or whatever, they'll do an expedition where it's like a completely different save file. You'll start off on a planet and you'll have goals to do, and there'll be multiple steps. But every time you do one of these steps, you're rewarded with an item, right? So you get rewarded with this item, and you can finish it, and then you get a really cool item. Like they had the Normandy out of Mass Effect. They actually had the Normandy freighter you could have.
Right.
You can't get that now because the expedition's gone, but they are revisiting them, so you might be able to again. Anyway, so when you get these items, they're free. You know what I mean? You just played the expedition. So in any save file that you do, if you go back to your main save, you can go to that the Death Star, what I said, and there's a store there, and anything you've earned from that expedition, you can claim over only once per save file, but it's free. Like I say, you've just earned more stuff, and the Twitch drops. I'm earning ships and stuff now. I'll get them later. I'll go in, I'll claim them, I'll fly them into a space station, and I'll melt them down for scrap. You've just got loads of free money. There's not like, they're not going to give you this because that'll bust the game, because then people won't spend money. There's no money to be made. So they're not what's the word, walling you off of things.
Paywall.
Yeah, not paywalling you. So there's never that egregious, I have to do this is ridiculous, because otherwise I could just spend a tenner and get it done.
Yeah.
They're very generous because you're just playing the game. It's just fun. It's just a fun world to live in. Just chill out, mine a bit, go and shoot some things, do whatever you want, really. And I love space, so that's why it's lucky for me. If you don't like space, then it's probably quite boring.
I'm going to have to jump on it, ain't I?
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to have to, because I've been playing it on the laptop, and I've been it feels quite nice on the laptop. This is what I'm doing. I've got quite a lot of games on the PS5, and they're the same games I can get on the laptop. So I'm playing them on both to find out which one I actually prefer. I played Destiny on the laptop yesterday, hated it.
Let's not jump ahead. Just a couple of topics down.
I weren't going to go into it. I was just going to say.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yeah, I think you should jump on No Man's Sky. It's very fun, but obviously I've been playing it for a long time, so when I go back on it, I'm like, oh, what the fuck's this? And then after a while, I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm into the swing of it. I don't need to keep thinking.
Yeah.
But jumping in now is probably well overwhelming. All the different minerals, materials. What do you need for this? How do you craft stuff?
Well,
How do you repair stuff? Yeah, but
you.
it's so finicky, some of the things. It's like, oh, right, I've crafted this. Now how do I install it? Have I not installed it? Oh, I have to press this. There is bits that are like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I can see why it's overwhelming. But when you got a space warrior like me at your side, you'll be fine.
We'll be able to do anything.
Exactly.
It sounds fun. I suppose I will have to give it a go.
It's very fun. They've added capes. What more can you want?
We love capes.
Exactly.
It did look good. I watched the trailer. It looked very, graphically, it looked very good.
And that's not all. The 4.0 update is coming next month, or people believe. And obviously, that's the big one. So they've had 2.0, 3.0. This will be 4.0.
Was this not a big one that's just happened?
No, these are just the generic ones.
Oh, these are just...
Yeah, there's loads of these. Freighters,
all
Outlaws.
this content they've just pumped in for free. For free.
For free, Last of Us. For free.
Yeah, and here's Naughty Dog charging me 70 quid for something that's fucking already happened twice.
But nonetheless, like I say, there's plenty of fun to be had in the stars of No Man's Sky. So join me, partner.
I will.
Good. Grand Admiral Thrawn has employed you to his squadron.
This would be fantastic. I'm just flicking through on our little list of things because I haven't actually put it in order. I believe the next thing is a game called Ashes Reborn. Now, I've gone on a different little adventure on this one. As you may know, dear listeners, we're gamers, in case you haven't got the gist. And me and Steph decided to venture down the little wormhole that is board games. As weird as that sounds, there's some mental ones. Have you ever looked at board games? Like properly gone in Nerdbase and had a little look around?
Yeah, Pass Go, 200 quid, Monopoly, Mayfair.
No, fuck you. There's some nutty games out there. Honestly, we both admitted that we're like magpies. We're drawn to the shiny things. So if it looks good, if the advertisement on it is top notch, then we're picking the box up and we're having a little look. And we went down to Nerdbase and we scoured the board games in there. There was actually a little tournament going on, so if anything, we barged through a tournament just to look at the fucking board games. I felt bad for them.
Also, we mention you all the time, Nerdbase. Sponsor us, yeah?
I've spent a lot of money in your shop. I just want some of it back.
Me too.
So yeah, we had a look at the board games and we found this one called Ashes Reborn and bought it. It weren't that expensive. Well, in my mind it was for a board game, but when you look at other board games it weren't that expensive. I think it was like 40, 50 quid, something like that. Brought it home, took it out of the box, read the fucking 100 pages worth of instructions. Fuck me, there's a YouTube video, there's all sorts. They've literally got at the front of it, it says stop. If you want to watch the YouTube video on how to play this, here's the link. and it was about a half-hour long video of how to play it. And for anyone who doesn't know, because I don't really know how big this game is in the UK, because everything I've looked at has been in America, so our American listeners might actually know what I'm chatting about. But it's very sort of similar to Hearthstone type vibes, where you have your main person and then your little army that you're gonna fling out to do some damage. You know what I mean? Like, once your army's dead, your main guy gets attacked, and the whole premise is once your main guy is dead, that's it. That's the end of the game.
It's like a glorified chess.
Kind of, but there's the art on it and the ability. It came with 6 different decks, and they're all different. On the instructions, you can have your preset decks. Like, it'll tell you what to pick, what to choose from, or if you really want to go mental, you can just jumble it all up and pick whatever you fucking want. And it's I think me and Steph are quite heavy into it. We've gotten really involved with it, really enjoying it. Supposedly on the box it says a game will take 15 minutes, but our first game took about 2.5 hours. And we've gotten a bit better since then, and our games still take about an hour to do. And it's just the strategy behind it in terms of the different abilities on the cards that you can use, and it has an effect on this, and blah, 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 blah. It was just way more fun than I thought it would be.
Is it cards?
It's cards.
There's no figures.
There's no figures.
No, I'm out.
Why?
Because I want figures.
There's other ones that there's figures there, but you've got to paint most of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't want to get one that I had to paint. I don't want to put any effort into it. But there are... Steph's going to have a go at me because I'm going to call it DLC, and it's not DLC. It's expansion
booster packs.
Decks, booster pack type shit.
That's too loud. You're going to have to edit that.
And there's like 20 of them. There's fucking loads of them, all with different cards and all this different shit. Admittedly, they're all like 10 to 20 quid each. It's expensive to buy them all. But yeah, we've just thrown ourselves into board games, and I think that if anything, in the last episode we talked about a gaming lull. Ash had pulled himself out with it, and I was hunkered down in the lull. This board game has pulled me out of that because it was just so much fun to sit down and play a board game rather than sit on my laptop or my PlayStation and just fucking stare at the PlayStation store and get depressed because there's nothing on there that I actually want.
Nothing's tickling your pickle.
No, but Ashes Reborn
Is Ashes Reborn not the name of the Final Fantasy DLC?
I don't know my Final Fantasy.
Well, neither do I, but I've heard that name before, and it ain't over a board game.
Well, this is this has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. You'll have to. It's not your bank, but you'll have to watch some shit on it because it's quite fun. It's an easy time killer because it's just.
Who the fuck is playing board games like that with me? You think Jem's got time to sit there playing fucking silly buggers?
Well, apparently, if you're good at it, it takes 15 minutes. You can pump out a couple of games.
Listen, I'm all up for nerdy stuff. She ain't. She should be like, you having a fucking laugh.
At some point, if Steph lets me use it, we can play a game, and I think you would like it. I generally think you would like it.
Yeah, I mean, I like figures, really.
There's little markers and shit that you can put on. There's dice that you have to roll. Oh, there's all sorts, mum.
Shout out to boy Connor. Have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? That sounds like it'd be right up your street.
I spoke to him about this, and he directed me to a Dungeons and Dragons game that I haven't purchased yet. I think he was sort of using me as a test dummy because he said he really wanted it, but he didn't want to spend the money, knowing that I'm stupid with my money. Probably hoping I was going to buy it, weren't you, Connor? But I haven't. But yeah, I chatted to him about it, and yeah,
he's got his own mini making machine, hasn't he? He's got a 3D printer,
mini making
machine, and he prints them out and he paints them. He done me a samurai. He done me essentially it looks like Jin Sakai from Ghost of Tsushima. What a game! Woo! Yeah, I've got one of them. It doesn't do anything. It just sits on my mantelpiece on top of one of the pops, looking all powerful and that.
On top of the Jin Sakai pop. Oh,
that's the jam, isn't it? Because originally I said to him, "You dickhead." Originally, if I was going to play Dungeons and Dragons, because obviously you create your own character, your own backstory, all that waffle.
Yep.
I'd 100% be like some sort of fucking Ronin samurai with a wolf head. Basically, I'd be that geezer out of Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, Blade. They pronounce it weird. Oh yeah, I'd essentially, and this was before that, so they've nicked my idea if anything.
I would love to play
Or
Dungeons and Dragons,
a
but
Jedi.
I feel like you need a serious group of people to play that.
He's got that. He's got them connections.
Has he?
Yeah, he plays it with his pals. I was going
Oh.
to play with him before, but never got
I'd be
round
half
to it.
tempted to do it. I couldn't be the dungeon master.
I don't think he wanted me to meet his pals. I was on at him. I was like, yeah, should we?
Why?
He gave me a book to read. I don't know. I don't think. I don't think.
He don't understand how nerdy we are.
I think he thinks that I don't know. I'm not that into it. I'd be there and I'd be like, "What's this shit?" And I'd flip the table or something.
That's because you look menacing.
Well, maybe, but that's not my fault.
The football hooligan. What's this hooligan doing on a fucking D&D set?
I'm as nerdy as the rest of us. Let's hug.
Guys are doing? No, yeah, I'd be quite intrigued. Connor, set it up. You said you wanted to see me at some point. Set it up. I've never played it before. Ash has never played it before. Ooh, this could be cushy.
Spin-off podcast.
Yeah, the Dungeons and Dragons podcast.
Yeah.
The point to what I was saying was that board games are fun. There's some decent ones out there that the art on them and the effort that goes into the games is very, very good. And if you're not much of a board game kind of person, just try and find one and give it a little crack.
I used to like Warhammer. And I never really played the game. I never had an understanding. But when I was younger, I used to collect all the little figures. I was terrible at painting them. I made a right fucking mockery of it.
Weren't we all?
I mean? So that's not my forte. Connor's pretty good at painting them, from what I've seen. But yeah, the Warhammer game itself, very cool. But then I've been in their shop, and I don't mean no disrespect here. It fucking stinks. It's disgusting. Like, genuinely, I'm all for nerds. I am one of you. But have a bit of personal hygiene about it. I'll never go in there again. Not that particular one. I won't name it.
He's upsetting entire people.
Well, I just had a bad experience. I'm just saying it stunk in
What
there.
did it stink of?
Just bad human smell.
Just man juice.
No, I can deal with that because I am man. But
It just smelled of...
maybe it was copious amounts of man juice that stunk. I don't know. It was horrible. I was like, I ain't going in here again.
What was you doing in there?
Just look at. I wanted to look at the figures.
Do you have any idea how expensive some of that shit is?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I used to work with a guy that was heavy into it, and where we worked, I used to work in a skate park, and he had like an office above it, and they would every weekend do Warhammer. They had the full setup, fucking all sorts of shit, and he come down and showed me like a catalogue once of all the stuff, and showed me how expensive, thousands of pounds for this shit. And I said, why don't you just buy a fucking 3D printer, put the pile together and put the money in, and just print your own shit, because that's crazy. Some of this stuff there is mental, and the painting's mental. I admire people that play it, but
to be fair though, the 3D printer's good, obviously, but the big bad bucks ones, they're normally metal. They're not plastic.
metal.
Yeah, metal figures.
Oh, what? Not 3D printing. You mean the actual figures themselves?
Yeah.
the
So
metal?
if you want the expensive ones, you ain't gonna 3D print them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's
true.
that's where Warhammer differentiates from Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons, as far as I'm aware, and what I've watched on YouTube, is you make your own story, you make your own character.
It's the
you
power
decide,
of the mind.
Yeah, you decide who you are. You don't have to go from some Warhammer guidebook. You can go like I said. I want to be some fucking samurai wolf head motherfucker. I can do that. Warhammer, you're constricted to their guidelines, whereas Dungeons and Dragons is more the dungeon master decides the game, the places where you are. A roll of a dice decides the fate of the choices put in front of you, is what I gather. There's a lot more to it than that, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. It's like a video game in itself, but more interactive in terms of a physical object in front of you.
I don't think that some of the games can go on forever. I'm surprised it's not as... Obviously, it is popular, but I'm surprised there hasn't been some sort of boom about it considering how big Stranger Things is.
There's a stigma attached to it, though. Even in Stranger Things, you can see the stigma attached to it. Exactly.
Yeah, the whole fucking world is nerdy. Most of the world runs on nerds. Leave us alone.
This is true, but that stigma is hard to shake for some people. I don't give a shit.
Especially when people sit there and go, they stink.
Listen, it was one bad experience. It absolutely... I would pay any man to walk in there and go, yes, I'm happy to stand in this stench. You wouldn't. You You wouldn't. You'd walk in and go, fuck, that ain't worth the money.
We're going to a Star Wars convention.
Exactly, and if it's
next
like that, I
year.
won't go again. Because I've got a weak stomach. I've got a really shit gag reflex. So if it's that bad, I'll...
Really?
Yeah, honestly. I'm not joking. There was one time, I'll tell you a little story. It's got nothing to do with computer games.
Go for it.
I was on a work do, and I was out with, obviously, my work pals. And geezer had too much to drink. Right? Not my pal, just a geezer just laying on the floor. Just thing. But I'm like, my mate is about, 5-6 paces in front of me. All of a sudden, he's thrown up. And I was like, as soon as I see him throw up, I threw up. Because if I see someone sick, I'm sick. So what had happened was, my mate's walking down the road. He's seen this geezer throwing up on the floor.
Yeah.
He's seen that and puked.
Right.
I've seen him puke, and then I've puked.
So there's a chain of sick.
We were walking down the road, simultaneously kept puking. Because he saw me puke, then I puked, then he puked, then I puked. It was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I can't help it. So my gag reflex is shocking. So if I see someone sick, I'm sick. If I get a really bad smell, it'll make my gag reflex go, I'll be sick.
I think we'll be fine.
Well, I fucking hope so. I won't be
think
going again.
Look,
They won't want me there if I puke up all over the floor.
I'm going for the Funko Pops.
Well, yeah.
I want to buy all the little limited edition ones and then flip them later.
I'm going for all the Star Wars. Just all the Star Wars. I don't care what it is. Get it in me.
Take your Thrawn and get it signed.
No, he won't be there. I don't even know who plays him. Oh, you know who does, didn't you?
Who?
You know Lars Jacobson. No, he's an ex-Fulham player. Mads Nicholson. Is that his name?
You're fucking asking the wrong person here. I thought
Very famous guy. The geezer that everyone. What's wrong with you lot? Everyone I say this geezer to, no one knows him. Right? He's the geezer at a Casino Royale with a bleeding eye.
With a bleeding eye?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Mads Mikkelsen or whatever his name is.
I don't know who you're on about. This has been a pointless
Casino
segment.
Royale.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Playing cards. In a casino.
Right.
Royale.
Yeah.
Geezer opposite him.
Right.
Bleedy eye. Main villain.
Not the geezer with the diamonds wedged in his face.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Diamonds are forever.
I don't know what you're on about. Is there a point to this?
Well, there was, but I forgot what it was.
What does he do?
Oh, Thrawn. I think his brother plays Thrawn in the Rebel series.
There you go.
He might be there.
Bang him in and get him to sign
I'm not taking that down there. It's dangerous.
It's not dangerous though,
Yes,
is
it is, because if he gets damaged, I'll attack. I'll hurt people. Exactly.
I was going to throw some stigma there. I'm not going to. I'm going to.
No stigma me thrown. I'm tired and I'm volatile.
I'm going to keep the nerds on my side.
I'll bear my fangs today. I'm hungry, tired.
Tarantula. Fucking hell. Where did we go with that?
I don't know. You went all over the place. I just followed.
Apologies.
Nah.
Apologies.
Yeah.
Can I talk about Destiny 2 now?
If you want.
I'm going to talk about Destiny 2.
Okay.
I want to love it.
Oh, no. I sense a huge but again.
No, there's no but. There is no
There
but.
definitely is.
There isn't.
You want to love it? What's the next word?
No,
then?
no, there isn't. There isn't. There isn't. I'm not going to play it on the laptop. I just can't. I can't get with it. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I feel like there's too many fucking buttons. A bit of a waste of me linking my Destiny account to it.
When you texted me that yesterday saying I'm downloading it on the laptop,
yeah,
my initial reaction was, "What a knobhead! Don't bother." But I didn't want to say that because I was tired once again, and I knew you'd come at with something smart and schmarmy. So I was just like, "Okay."
I've been very good with you this week. I've left you alone
because
I know you've been anxious. You've not. I was going to say anxious. Aggravated. That's the word I'm on about.
Aggravated. I'm just tired. My body's not used to these late night shifts. You know what I mean? I'm not used to it, so my body's like all confused.
So I've left you alone, and I made the decision that I won't play it on the laptop. It just doesn't feel right. It feels more comfortable on the controller, so I'll continue playing. I don't want to hear anyone saying, "Oh, just hook up your controller to that." Fuck off! I don't need to.
Also, Destiny's future lies with Sony, so you're probably best off playing with PlayStation.
Yeah, now that they've acquired Bungie completely.
Correct.
They've done that, so I want to love it.
Okay.
I genuinely do.
I can work with this.
Yes. You might know where I'm going. I don't want to be left behind. I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
Now, it's been a while since I played Destiny 2. A lot of DLCs happened. I'm way out the loop. I have no fucking idea what's going on. That's fine. I can learn all that. I can look into the lore. That's not a problem. What is a problem is the price tag set onto what 70 quid.
What is?
All of the DLC.
No way.
I don't. Witch Queen.
Yeah.
That's the latest one.
Yeah.
35 bones.
What's wrong with that?
No, 35 bones.
Yeah.
The rest of the shit, which you can get with the Legacy Edition, 40,
Right.
45.
Right, let me stop you there, right? Okay. So I got burnt with Destiny's DLCs because I get confused very easily because I'm thick.
As do I.
So the Legacy Edition, right? It does some weird stuff. I think it gives you like previous Battle Pass rewards or some weird
like
stuff.
chapter 16 to 19.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what that
yeah, yeah.
means.
So they're like, the quests that appeared at that time.
Yeah.
You know, and some stuff will probably be unavailable because like whole planets get vaulted while they bring a new planet out. Do you know what I mean?
Spoilers.
Well, no, it's just not spoilers. That's what happens. They put stuff away to make new stuff because they can't have it all in the same game. That's just how it goes. So they'll take Mars out and they'll put Jupiter in. They don't. But do you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So you don't need all that gumph. I suggested last time, and I'll suggest the same thing this time. Just get Witch Queen because it's the latest and it's the best expansion they've ever done, in my opinion. It's got the best story. It's got the best rewards because you can get really high ranked if you do the campaign on hard, which I'll help you with.
Okay.
Because you get really leveled gear. And that's all you need. And then if you do the Witch Queen and you're enjoying it and you're like, you won't be doing it all anyway. You'll do the Witch Queen, but there's so much to do. You won't be like, oh, I need more. But if you do get that feeling, then go and buy another one at some point. You don't need it all immediately. The Witch Queen is plenty enough.
So I can get away with playing it by just having the Witch Queen.
Absolutely.
It's not going to make me do it. You know how they have like a gear catch-up type thing? Because I know that there's light level on Destiny. So say... Because I saw that when I made a new character, it bumped me straight up to 1350.
Yeah, everyone gets that boost now.
Yeah. So, what you're saying is that I don't need to get anything from the old DLCs to be current.
There's not a single thing from any DLC that you need. You know what I mean? There's not like, oh, there's really high level gear in the Shadowkeep DLC. All the leveled gear is just what drops. It doesn't matter. There'll be certain weapons that you won't have access to, but there'll be weapons that I don't have access to. And I've got all the DLCs. There's loads of stuff that has passed me by that I can't get no more. But there's also a lot of things that you can get, like exotic ciphers that you can use at the tower to then buy old exotics that you can't earn in game anymore. Do you know what I mean?
So let's say I buy Witch Queen now.
Yeah.
I spend some money, which I don't normally do.
False.
And I download that. I've made a new character. I made a Titan.
Right.
Because I feel like being
Master Chief.
Captain America. Launching his fucking shield around. Don't really enjoy it. I might go back to being a hunter. I haven't made my mind up. So, would you suggest doing the main story?
Oh, absolutely.
I've still got to do that.
Oh, well, the main story of Destiny?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to do it for the story, there's no reason to just do it unless you want to do the story. That's fine. I don't know how much of the story is available because they got rid of the original Destiny 2 story. That's called Red War, I think. But then there's a place where you can go and play the old campaigns in the tower, so you can go back and play them. But I don't know.
It asks me when I made the character and I logged in. It asked me if I wanted to do the Legacy campaign or the other campaign.
Right,
I can't remember what it was called, but it said that it was more difficult and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, well, if you're just getting it off the rip and you're going Witch Queen, I would definitely recommend just going through the Witch Queen campaign off the rip because you get really good leveled gear and they're repeatable missions as well, so you can play them again at higher difficulty and guarantee yourself a set. So with the thing with Destiny is your leveled gear drops normally. Depending on what level you are, it'll drop a couple of levels above you. But as you get closer to the level cap, then you have to do like specific things to get good rewards, you know. But you can, I don't know what the state of it is now, but when I played the Witch Queen, everyone was doing the campaign on hard because that got you the quickest time, the highest level possible. But they've never done that reward system before in Destiny. So that is the optimal way to play when I played it. Whether it's still the way to play is leaves something to be desired. I don't know.
What I might do is go back to my hunter, which has done all the campaign and all that shit, and just start Witch Queen with that.
Yeah.
Because I've got loads of shit on that. I've got such cool shit on that. You know what I mean? Some decent shaders, some decent little hover bike thingy-majiggies, and some crafts. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of starting a new character because my geezer looks like an alien.
So you want to start a new one?
Well, I wouldn't mind, but I'm happy to just.
No,
I'm a hunter as well, but the trouble is, I'd like to start a new character, but I don't like hunters, warlocks or titans. So I don't want to do it all again to just be a hunter. And to be fair, he's always got a helmet on, so it don't matter. But he just takes his helmet off in cutscenes sometimes. And I'm like, oh, bro,
there's an
you're
option
ugly,
to
bro.
turn the helmet off.
Yeah, I don't want the helmet off. I want it on. He's ugly as fuck. He looks disgusting. Why they haven't changed to give you like a customised appearance option all these years down the line is mental.
I don't know.
But sometimes in a cutscene he'd take his helmet off and I'm like, Jesus.
Have you made a robot geezer?
No, he's like blue with white hair.
Oh, you've made an awoken.
I wanted him to look like Geralt of Rivia, but he just looks like...
So you thought you'd make his skin blue?
Yeah, he looks like Geralt of
So
Skivio.
So you made an avatar instead?
No, he's gross, bro. I might show you his face. It's not pretty.
Okay, well that can be our little assignment then.
Oh, hold on. What about No Man's Sky?
Bro, there's fucking... You know what? World of Warcraft have got a 50% XP boost at the moment for the current season, so there's that as well.
Hold on. Gaming lull. What's happened to that?
It's fucking gone. I've also downloaded on the Game Pass Hellblade,
Senya's Sacrifice.
Yeah, because apparently it's meant to be quite good story-wise.
It's very psychological.
Yeah, and I like that. I think that'll be quite good because one of the reviews said this will fuck your mental health, and we all need that in our life. So I thought, well,
that don't sound like cricket.
Well, I thought that's intriguing. Let's have a little look. So I've also got that to play.
So you've come out the blocks. You've been like you've been in that hole. I don't know what to do.
Honestly, it's ridiculous. And what's even worse is obviously I bought the pre-order for World of Warcraft, and it came with the extra month's worth of gameplay because I wasn't currently subscribed. That runs out in 3 days, so I got another conundrum of do I renew it or do I leave it? You know what I mean?
Put it in the bin. Can't see what's going on. It hurts your fingers and your back. Fuck it. It's bad for your health, that game, bro.
No, you're just old.
Come to space with me.
But the fault in my mind being that no, even if I with this new character that I've got on WoW get that to max level, I'm not going to do the end game content. There's no point because there's a new expansion coming out in 6 months. So, you know what I mean? That in itself should be enough for me to just sit there and go fuck it off for 6 months and then come back to it. You understand? You don't understand because you're not addicted like I am.
I'm confused as fuck. You lost me.
You don't get it.
No, World of Warcraft, good for you. I'm glad you enjoy it. I don't know, man. I'm just not in that mentality of. I have to be in a very specific mood to want to go and mine 10 bits of ore and take them to a vendor.
Don't sit there chatting shit like
I'm
that.
not. I'm being sincere.
No Man's Sky is literally the whole. I'm not.
Don't come for No Man's Sky.
I'm not ripping it. I'm just saying that is literally a game based around mining. What you keep fucking staring at? Oh, it's your phone.
Yeah, well, I'm getting the No Man's Sky drops in, aren't I? No. I like. Listen, I've shit on World of Warcraft. I like it. There was a time when I was playing it when I said I like it. The trouble is, why is World of Warcraft not on a console? And don't tell me how it can't because fuck off. There's plenty of games that are supported on console.
It can't.
Yes, it can. Why not?
It just can't.
Why?
You can format a controller to it. They allowed that.
I don't want to hear format controls. I want to know why I can't play it on a console.
Because it's too difficult.
Don't
it will be
fucking
too difficult.
give me all that bollocks.
It will be too difficult to port that over, and all lest we forget.
Massive player base they're missing out on. Huge.
You played it for about 5 minutes. There is so much shit on there that
I played it for about 6 hours.
It just wouldn't work. It would not work.
ESO works.
But it's separate.
What do you mean?
The PC version.
Yeah.
And the console version are separate.
Well, then do a separate World of Warcraft version.
No, it wouldn't work.
Why?
because fucking ESO's clunky anyway.
You're talking shit.
We
You
don't
know
need
you
that
could do
clunky
you could
bullshit.
do a World of
No.
Warcraft version, and they'd have a whole console.
They've been
player base.
they've been calling for it for years. People have been wanting it on their consoles for years, and the closest we've ever got is the controller format, and no one liked it because it was too difficult. There have been people that use it and have done some very, very difficult content with a controller, but even they've said, yeah, it's fucking difficult because there's so much shit going on. You've played ESO, the actions, the spells, the fact that you have to change your whole spell bar to use another set of spells by holding L2 and then fucking pressing whatever.
It's easy. You hold L2 and press square.
It doesn't
Easy.
It doesn't work as nice as it should do. You play ESO and then you play it on a computer. It plays way better on a computer.
No, what? Move your mouse over and click, 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 click.
No. Honestly, it wouldn't work.
You're a weapon.
You're talking to a veteran here.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work on a console. It doesn't need to be on a console. They've got the player base there.
Do you know how many people they'd be missing out on? How many people have just got consoles?
Don't matter. There's a reason why
It matters.
why the biggest MMOs are on PC and not fucking consoles because
Yeah.
they just work better on
ESO's
PC.
up there. You're telling me they don't work on a console. You loved it. You creamed it, you motherfucker.
Their console player base only makes up less than 50% of their player base combined. The rest of their player base is on PC.
Oh, only half. Don't try coming at me going only 50%, like trying to make it sound small. That's half, you
Out of the
fucking bean
millions
sprout.
of players,
You
it's
bean. What are you talking about?
not coming to console. They won't do it.
I don't want it console. Let it die. Rip.
It's not going to die.
Muggy little World of Warcraft.
Actually, I think
bro.
I do think this would be the last expansion. I don't see how.
Give me a code for
where else they
the
can go.
expansion. I'll test it out for you, Blizzard.
Yeah, after I signed up for the alpha and they didn't give me the code
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it. That's bullshit in itself. I've been playing that game for 13 years. Thousands of pounds have been spent in terms of just subscription, let alone all the extra shit that I've bought, and they won't give me an alpha code.
That don't respect your time. It tells me all I need to know about
They give it to streamers and shit that are obviously gonna talk good about it because they're being told to, and that's about it. It's just fucking stupid.
Well, when What's the Buttons reaches lofty heights, don't come crawling back, Blizzard.
Well, they'll be dead by then. They won't exist.
So will we.
But-
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Well, what we've been playing? You're supposed to be saying this.
We
You've been playing fuck all, huh? Board games.
just went through what we've been playing.
I didn't say a thing about what I've been playing.
What have you been playing?
Fuck all. No, that's false. I played a lot of Skyrim. Loved it. Yeah. No Man's Sky, obviously, come out of nowhere with the update, and I was like, bang, let's have a look, and then I'm drawn back in.
Yep.
And now you're coming at me with Destiny. You did Destiny last week, and then I saw nothing. So
You were on
I'll
nights,
take
so
it with a pinch of salt.
it didn't match up. By the time you was coming on, Love Island was also coming on, and I had to pick one or the other.
and you chose Love Island. Huh?
Over a month of investment, every single night I've been watching this. I'm not about to miss any episodes yet.
What a load of old waffle.
Destiny ain't going anywhere. Love Island is for another year.
So this week's homework: No Man's Sky and Destiny.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're gonna get No Man's Sky on the console before I leave. Make sure it's on their PS5 version. I don't want this fucking ball ache trying to connect to a computer person. I'll just jump in a PlayStation party. We're away. All this voice chat or something we'll have to do on thing or call you.
Oh,
Just get it on console. Job done. Console master race.
fine.
Your internet will have it downloaded in about 18 seconds anyway.
Yeah, to be fair, Destiny was 106 gig. It downloaded in 3 hours.
Literally, that would take me the whole weekend.
It was so cool for me to play 5 minutes and go, yeah, I'm deleting this.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Cushy, bruv. All right, cool. Well, you're going to outro us? Anything else to say?
I got fuck all else to say, to be fair. Had enough. For the next week.
Yeah, well, back next week, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just quickly racking my brain to make sure there isn't anything else I want to say, and I don't think there is. So, actually,
Go on.
if anyone listening
Yeah.
has a Balrog Funko Pop that they're wanting to shift, don't be looking over there. It's not there.
Nah, that's what I was going to get you, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you didn't. So now I got to get myself one.
Right, like
If
that,
anyone
huh?
wants to sell me one that isn't north for 60 quid, let me know because I'll snap it up.
Yeah, while you mention that, let him know via What's the Buttons podcast on Instagram or the Twitter at What's the Button, no S.
That's so fucking stupid.
Oh, no, it's dumb, but
It's
it's
so
what it
annoying.
is.
Anyway, that's us done. Thanks for listening.
Thanks very much.
See you later.
All right.
All right.